A few months ago, I made a video talking about Halo Infinite and how it no longer has to compete with the likes of Call of Duty and Battlefield. My rationale was it's free to play, it's simple to pick up, it has a high skill ceiling to grind, and much more, as well as it being one of the only new solid arena FPS shooter games coming out in 2021. Now, of course, that is just an oversimplification just to give some context to this video, but I want to do some rooting around and analyse the performance of this game thus far. Is the population holding up? Are fans sticking around? And how far should you trust these numbers when you see them online? Well, that's what we're going to do, so sit back, relax, and let's break it down.
Ultimate Halo.
Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and at 2 PM on Tuesday I'm doing a celebration stream to celebrate me leaving my job to go full time with YouTube. Haha, it's crazy, I know. Anyway, so I would love for you guys to be there, come hang out, play some Halo Infinite with me, and also please subscribe because that helps a lot. Anyway, alrighty, so how is Halo Infinite doing? So just to set your expectations, we're going to be using some Steam charts to get a feel for how the game is doing, but of course this comes with some caveats. It's not a perfect measurement, but it gives them some reasonable ideas as to how it's doing. So first of all, let's look at trusty Halo's numbers. The highest peak of players at this point was just over 250,000, which is pretty incredible for a start, especially the game's in beta, the full campaign hasn't even released yet, and with 146,000 in the past 24 hours, which I would say is pretty respectable. Of course, this doesn't account for the Xbox players, which I would also assume makes up a large percentage of Halo players in general. Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky because, of course, not every game uses the same launcher and the same console, meaning that some of the data just isn't always available. But for example, Battlefield's all-time peak on Steam is 100,000, with just shy of 57,000 in the past 24 hours. So it's clear that Halo Infinite is doing much better on Steam compared to Battlefield, but of course EA do have their own launcher for that, as well as Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game. So I do think it is safe to say that overall Battlefield is up there looking at similar, if not higher figures, just simply due to the fact it's on an extra platform, but of course we're not fully seeing the full picture of the data at this time. At this stage, we're also not seeing any data for Call of Duty Vanguard, but what we can see from online sentiment, from online reviews and fan feedback, it's not looking like the best Call of Duty game, and I would imagine more people are playing Warzone instead. Similarly, Battlefield does seem to be in a similar boat, and whilst people are enjoying the game, it looks like, from what I can read in my personal experience, that new players are having a hard time getting into the game, which I feel is the exact opposite with Halo Infinite. Either way, when we do look at the Google rankings for these games over the past 90 days, whilst it's natural for any search ranking to drop off post-launch, Halo Infinite has stayed relatively steady, along with Battlefield, which I think is doing pretty well as well, but Call of Duty Vanguard, on the other hand, seems to really be jumping off a cliff. So what now? Is Halo Infinite doing well? Well, that's the big question. I would personally say yes, absolutely. Zero doubt in my mind, and thankfully, there are several parts of this game's journey which I think will continue to propel its population and fan base as time goes on. You see, I've played the campaign and it's absolutely awesome. I think people are going to love it. More content's coming on the campaign next week, by the way, but I do just want to say Infinite has a full launch on the 8th of December as well, which is going to be huge, and I think if everybody feels the same way about the campaign than I do, I think things are only going to get better here on out for this game. Game Pass, free to play, and even though I've stated it numerous times that I can take it or leave it, imagine if Halo Infinite did a Call of Duty and released a Battle Royale in 6 months' time. That would be wild. I think that would do the population a whole world of help, even though I don't necessarily think the game needs it. But still, it would be cool, and it is a very popular genre. We also have HCS Rally, Infinite's first in-person competitive event, which 343 seem to be throwing everything at, which I'm going to be honest, I think it's going to be an awesome event, and I'll be there too, so if you see me, make sure you say hello. I'd also like to remind you that whilst it's not hitting Apex Legends numbers or PUBG, and it might probably never do PUBG's numbers, November 2020, Apex was hitting an average daily of 75,000, and within the past 24 hours, it's hit 223,000, so there's nothing to say that Infinite cannot continue to grow with its live service model and become a similar game with similar levels of popularity. So in a nutshell, to keep this video to the point, Has Halo Infinite been a success? I would say yes, absolutely. It's Microsoft's best performing Steam game to date. It's coming to Game Pass very soon for those of you wanting to play the campaign, which gives so many people the opportunity to play. And if 343 address the issues the fanbase is having around the Battle Pass, then I think we're onto something awesome, because the core multiplayer gameplay is probably one of the best in the franchise's history. I think that's a pretty strong statement, but I stand by it. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Has it been a success? Do you think we're just getting started? Or do you think Halo Infinite has got a lot of work to do before it can hit those kind of levels? But once again, my name is Jack Fletcher. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.